Welcome to Beyond Synth. Please note, Beyond Synth is an explicit program and may contain inappropriate language. Listener discretion is strongly advised.
Hey there, welcome to the show. My name is Andy Last and you are listening to Beyond Synth. This is episode 74. My guest today is DROID BISHOP. But this is a special one because he is in studio. Of course, DROID BISHOP lives in LA, but he's also a touring guitarist. I think he's playing guitar right now in Mike Posner's band. It's Mike Posner, right? Anyway, which has nothing to do with his DROID BISHOP music, obviously, but it does allow him to travel all over the place. And he had a stop in Toronto. They were playing the ACC, and then he stopped by because he had a few hours, and I took advantage of him, and we made some videos and recorded a podcast. I just realized that sounds terrible. Took advantage of him, and we filmed some videos. Anyway, so it's going to be a good show. We had a fun time, and it's also special this week because right after this episode airs on Power 85, I will post the video of our conversation. So I also filmed it as well, and it's sort of like a bonus thing because there's actually stuff that was edited out of this episode that you can see in the video. Mainly stuff that was visual. I tried to cut down on the things that you could only get by seeing the video. So if you ever make faces at the camera or whatever and it was funny, I didn't keep it in this radio interview because you'd be like, what the hell is going on? So look forward to that, and you can check that out at Beyond Synth Facebook, which is where I will post the video, and also vimeo.com/AndyLast, which is where I post videos as well. And yeah, so if you want to see some behind the scenes Beyond Synth and get some deleted stuff, check out that video. It's a lot of fun. Also, I do have to point out that during the interview, there's one point where I was talking about temperature, and I said Fahrenheit when I meant to say Celsius. So don't get on my case, because there's a point where I mentioned 40 degrees, and I meant to say 40 degrees Celsius, but instead I said Fahrenheit. Anyway, this is all fucking dumb. Just know that, and know that I made a mistake, but I wasn't going to go back in and dub my voice, which would have been awesome. Yeah, it's like 40 degrees Celsius. Let's listen to a track. Here's a cool track. This is Airborne and the song Voyage.
I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal before this decade is out of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth.
Cardiac arrest down here too, Pete. There may be time for that up here. I think we need to do a little more all-weather testing. Amen. Space Shuttle Discovery still on its way to orbit after a successful ascent up through main engine cutoff.
Discovery Houston, press to ATO. Discovery, Houston. We've got a good picture of Steve. All right, lift off and the clock has started. Yes, sir. Reading loud and clear.
Discovery, Houston. 20 seconds to LOS speed risk.
Okay, nice to be in orbit. Discovery, Houston. Recommend vector transfer to the BFS.
Welcome home, Columbia. Beautiful, beautiful. So I'll have to take it up to hangar, Joe. We're going to dust it off first. We'll stop.
Roger, we'll stop Discovery. Welcome back. A great ending to the new beginning.
Nose gear touchdown. Having fired the imagination of a generation, a ship like no other, its place in history secured, the space shuttle pulls into port for the last time. Its voyage at an end.
This is a new and strange environment at first. This suddenly finding yourself in orbit.
And that was Voyage by Airborne. And that's a cool song. You should dig it. It's got a space vibe, touchdown, airborne, all that stuff. I'm real good at setting these tracks up, or at least bookending it, because I already set it up before it played. So before we get to some more music, I want to touch on a game I played. So there were some kind developers that sent me a copy of their game. It was called Defragmented, and I don't know if you've played it, but it's a pretty cool game. It's sort of... This is... I don't know what this is. This is like Beyond Synth game reviews. Yeah, it's for computer. It's called Defragmented, and it's sort of it's like a cyberpunk Hotline Miami, I'll say. I think that's fair to say. It's got these sort of cutscenes in between where you're reading sort of dialogue and description as if it's from a book. So you'll see a picture of a person, and there'll be a caption like, "She looks at you with starry eyes as she hands you the files. Outside, there's a group of thugs waiting," you know, stuff like that. So it's sort of, it gives you the description. It's almost like you're reading an interactive story, but you're seeing, you know, the characters that they're talking about. And then once it gets to actual gameplay, it plays kind of like Hotline Miami. So it's that top-down view. It's difficult. You've got a sort of laser that's coming out of the front of you, so you know what direction your guy's shooting, and you sort of run around these little sections, and you got to blow people away and stuff like that. And it's got a cool soundtrack. I think that was the connection when they got in touch with me, because it's got a very heavy, like, synth-wave score contributed by a bunch of synth-wave artists. There's Absolute Valentine and Dance with the Dead and Glitch Black and Ghost and Mitch Murder and Neon Shutter and Nightcrawler and Power Glove, and there's so much awesome stuff on here, man. That's like half the artists that are featured on that soundtrack, and it's pretty cool, man. It adds to the whole vibe of the thing, and yeah, man. So I just want to say thanks to the guys who make Defragmented, because they sent me a copy to preview, and I dug it. I thought it was pretty cool. And you can check it out too, man. It's on Steam. So there's that. This isn't a paid plug, by the way. It's just... But if people want me to check out their games and talk about them, I will. So if you like Cyberpunk and you like Hotline Miami and you want those things fused together, check it out. And that's all I have to say about Defragmented. So do that, man. It's a good time. And of course, before we go any further, I forgot to mention that Beyond Synth, as always, is brought to you by downtojam.com. All right, and that is a website that I don't have my copy in front of me. Hold on. That is a website that is free, that helps musicians around the world connect based on musical compatibility. If you're a musician looking for a partner to jam with or to fill a spot in your band, you're going to want to check out this site and sign up downtojam.com. That's DOWNTOJAM.com. Down to jam? Yes, I am. And speaking of jamming, let's listen to some cool tunes. This is a track by Age of the Machine, and this is Aurora. And that was Aurora by Age of the Machine. And that is a cool song. It's also got a cool cover for that the EP that it's from. Sort of like this robot woman, like kind of leaning back. At least I think it was a woman. I looked at it very briefly. Listen, let's do the Patreon real fast, and then we'll listen to some more music. You know, I got Droid Bishop coming up in studio, and it's a lot of fun, and you're gonna dig it. But first, we have to pay respect to my lovely patrons who donate to the show. If you don't know what Patreon is, it's a way you can donate to Beyond Synth and help out the show, and we've got some goals to meet. It's a monthly donation thing. That's what Patreon is. So you can donate like $1 a month, and it helps out the show. But if you donate like higher amounts, there's different reward tiers. But I'm putting reward in quotes because there's a lot of people who donate and they say they don't want a reward because the rewards are shit. But you can go to patreon.com/BeyondSynth and you can see the video for yourself. There's a video there that explains how Patreon works, and check it out. So let's go to the Patreon.
Now you better listen up, 'cause I'ma tell you what to do. That's gonna show up on Patreon, that's for real. Subscribing, you belong up in the higher echelon. Now let's see who gave money on Patreon.
As always, I'd like to thank Kai and Lucas Ceballos and Brendan Kellum and Project Friday. And there's some new ones here today. Carsboy97. Oh, you're not fooling me. That's Mitchell Carswell. Okay, I'm going to call him Carsboy97 now because that's what it says. And also new donor Rivonia. Thanks, Rivonia. That's very kind of you. Donated a weird amount. I love when people donate the weird amounts because I don't know what prizes to give them. And by weird, I just mean that with Beyond Synth on the Patreon, you know, you can donate $1, $5, $10, and up. But sometimes people donate like $3 or like $2.75 or something. And then I'm like, well, did they get the prize? I don't know what to do. Anyways, thanks, buddy. Rivonia. And thanks to Scotty Galden. Whoa, he's chosen to donate without any reward. I don't know if this is like a one-time donation, but he's given me $15. That's like super time. So he said he doesn't want a reward, but he's going to get the $10 reward because that's more than $10. I'm good at math, man. Also want to thank Eric Valerio and Python Blue, Zikarax, Tomas, Nathan Winter, Terrence Thompson, Girls with Tails, Nox Bello, Lunar Baboon, and of course my lovely $5 donors. I've got to figure out a different thing to call you guys besides my lovely $5 donors. So that's right. I think I mentioned it a week ago, but my listener Yan referred to my Patreon donors or my Patreon donors as Pattersons. So I think now my $5 and $10 donors are going to be my lovely Pattersons. So here's some Pattersons today, man. There is Joe and Lando. I think I say that the same every week. Florence Bullock, Joey Bergeron, Roman, Extras Music, Sebastian S.W., Philip Huberger, Devious Raven, Bobby B., John Eternal, Will Lowe, and Dougie Fresh. You are all Pattersons to me. And my lovely $10 Pattersons. It just sounds so stupid. Of course, there's Jake Last and Trevor Resnick and the Fear Merchant. And even though Scotty Galden says he doesn't want a prize, I'm putting him up with my lovely $10 Pattersons, or he's a $15 Patterson, I guess. But thank you, Scotty. That's very kind of you. And thank you all for donating to Beyond Synth. All right, let's listen to another song. What do we got? We got a track by S.EXE, which I'm assuming is Sex-E or Sex. Don't know. I think they're French. This track is called Sensation. And that was Sensation by S.EXE, I guess. S.EXE. Or sexy, I don't know. But either way, it's a cool, funky track. I dig it. You know, last week I answered a bunch of listener questions, and Axial sent me an audio question, but he sent it to me too late, and I'd already recorded the show. So let's go into the mailbag and get to the bottom of this. And by mailbag, I mean mail sack.
Ye faithful listeners writing to the show, hoping that your note gets picked from the
Hey Andy, this is Thomas, aka Axial on SoundCloud, aka some guy who made 2.5 synthwave tracks and calls himself a synthwave artist. I was wondering if you've seen that new Netflix series called Stranger Things. In case your listeners don't know, it's like a creepy sci-fi / drama thriller based in the 80s, and the music is done by these two guys from a synthwave group called Survive. Anytime I see synthwave used in mainstream material, I get way too excited, as you probably do too. So I was wondering what you thought about the show, the music, and even the intro animation. It's very retro looking. In case you haven't seen it, you should probably go check out an episode because it'll blow your mind.
All right, Thomas, your question is, have I seen Stranger Things? Of course I have. What? Yes. The answer is yes. And the title sequence is amazing. I think that was my favorite part of the show. That title sequence really powered the whole episode for me. Like, the second it was over, I was just totally in the zone. Like, they did such a good job with it. And yeah, it was a good show, man. I'm aboard the train. The Stranger Things train. I know sometimes there's people out there who need, once something becomes popular, they need to profess that they don't like it. But I'm not one of those people. I thought Stranger Things was good. I thought the only weak part of the show was that they CGI'd the monster, that he was computer generated. That was the only part, because I thought they did such a great job of setting the tone of those early 80s, Stephen King and Spielberg and stuff like this, that the fact that the alien, or whatever it is, was CGI was it was such a missed opportunity. It should have been a practical effect. But I also understand it's a television show, and maybe it just would have been, really time consuming to set up all those shots with an actual costume, and maybe they just couldn't do it. I don't know the actual story of why they didn't, but I'm certain because of the nature of the rest of the show, that had to have been a discussion. Is this creature going to be practical or CGI? It had to be a decision that was made. But apart from that, I thought it was a cool show. And, the label that released the soundtrack, they sent me, there's 2 albums of music, and they sent that over to me, and I've been listening to it, and it's pretty cool. I dig it. And, yeah. So to answer your question, yes, I have seen Stranger Things. I watched it all in one weekend, the day before DROID Bishop came over. So the night before he came over, I just powered through and watched all the episodes of Stranger Things, and I thought it was good. All right, that's my story. So thank you for your question. Let's listen to another song. This is a track called Luminous Beings by RULMYNO. And that was RULMYNO with the track Luminous Beings. And I think that's like one of the first tracks this guy's put out. He doesn't have too many followers on SoundCloud or whatever, but I thought it was a cool song. And so I played it because that is how this show works. I don't know if I really have too much else to say. I'm actually throwing this episode together very late. I know I say that every week. I'm really trying to get this schedule going where I, have a nice cushion. I've got like 5 episodes recorded in advance and edited, and I can just sit back and relax. But unfortunately, the past 2 months, I feel like I'm throwing these shows together like minutes before I have to upload them to Power 85. But, it's all good. So just a quick reminder, if you want your music featured on the show, you can send me links and I'll check out your tunes. You can write to me at AndyLast at Twitter, or on Twitter at AndyLast. There's also BeyondSynth.com. Nope. SoundCloud.com/BeyondSynth and Facebook.com/BeyondSynth. Beyond.synth.podcast. Fuck me, I don't even know my own websites. If you type Beyond Synth into Google, you will get the SoundCloud and the Facebook, and you can send me messages to all of those places. Send me links to your tracks, and if I dig them, I'll play them on the show. And if you also have any questions or comments, you can send them to me the exact same way and just title the message Mail Sack. That's MAILSACK. Yes, it is a pun. A terrible, terrible pun. So how about this? Let's listen to one more track, and then when that's done, we will go to my conversation with DROID BISHOP in studio. And we had some fun. It was a good time. If there's any stuff in there where you're kind of like, why are they laughing? Just assume it's a visual gag. We had like a Tickle Me Elmo toy on the table, so if you hear that chime into the conversation, that's because it was there. And that's pretty much all I got to say about that. So here is a wicked track. This is by MAHONEY, and this is a track called Future. So dig it. And that was Future by Mahoney. And Mahoney's wicked. He's got like an EP of like a few songs, and they're all really good. I don't know, maybe it's more than one dude. I should probably know this stuff, but I don't, because whatever. I get to know people when I actually have them as guests on the show. I do very little research, and so that's when I use the opportunity to discover the things I need to know about them. But what I do know is that it's a wicked track by Mahoney. Anyways, guys, let's go to my conversation with DROID BISHOP in studio. All right, well, let's start.
Get into it.
All right, so I am here with...
Let me turn my phone on. I don't want it just blowing up.
All right, and I'm here with DROID BISHOP.
Yeah, hello.
A.K.A. James Bowen.
Me.
How's it going?
It's good. Should I, look at you? Just look directly into my eyes.
See, so we got a camera going today. So if you people are just listening to the audio, know that we're also filming this just to give people an idea of what it looks like when we can actually do recording, because James is playing a show. He is a guitarist, and he's visiting Toronto for a few hours. So we
beautiful country.
Yeah, he got to see it all. He got to see the whole thing.
The whole thing.
And so we're hanging out today, and we're going to do a in-studio interview. So you've been on the show several times.
Yeah, but now we're here. Let's do a little cheers to that.
I wonder if we should rip
Clink.
Should we rip the labels up?
I don't know. No one drinks this shit. I always drink beer, and I never drink this.
I don't either. I was in this place, and I was looking, I'm just like... what should I get? And I'm just like, I never drink Dos Equis, and I know there's those ads with I drink Dos Equis.
Yeah.
It's the most interesting guy in the universe, isn't it, or whatever?
You never drink beer, but when you do, this is the fucking one you reach for?
Yeah, isn't that interesting?
I mean, it's all right.
It's crafted in Mexico.
Where's the Molsons, bro? Came to Canada for the Molsons. Or a little Bat Blue, dude.
It was all cans. I wanted to get bottles, and I know ironically I did buy some cans, but that was just a spare, just in case you didn't want what I bought in bottles.
Oh, I would have loved anything you bought me.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Liquid courage.
So, man, DROID BISHOP.
Yeah.
You got a new album you've made. You sent me some tracks.
I did.
Now, is that the whole thing?
Yeah. I decided that was all I wanted to do.
Okay. Well, I just want to know, just so in case there's
that's
secret songs.
I mean, there might, you know me, I could just decide not to put any of those out in the next 3 days. No, it's coming out. Don't worry. It's coming at you. So get it when it gets here.
Chances are everything will already be out by the time this video
it'll be platinum by the time this comes out. Bandcamp platinum.
But I listened to the tracks and they're good.
Thanks.
It made me happy.
I'm good.
I'm a fan of DROID BISHOP.
I'm glad it touched you in some way.
It did. And then I touched myself, and then the whole thing was like a big circle of...
And now you're wearing my shirt.
Yeah, I am. I'm wearing DROID BISHOP shirt. This is one of my go-to shirts because I like black shirts.
It's good.
It says DROID BISHOP on it. It's getting faded because I've worn it quite a bit.
I've worn this quite a bit and haven't washed it since I've got it. I'm wearing a Power Glove shirt, and it's getting pretty dirty. I like it. Yeah. I haven't changed these pants in like 4 weeks.
What do you guys do?
I sleep in them.
So you, you play guitar in like a touring sort of band. What do you actually call your job?
Guitar player.
Right. So, but you are sort of like for hire. So like different outfits will use you, and you'll like go on tour with people and play guitar for their backup bands. It's not called a backup band, is it?
No.
Band.
It depends who you're with. I mean, the artist I'm playing with right now, he considers us a band.
Okay.
So we have kind of like input, and it's actually different from a lot of other bands where you kind of are like, get in the shadows. Stay back there, which is fine. You're getting paid for it. But when you get paid and get to travel with an artist that like lets you wear Power Glove shirts on stage.
So have you been with people who like where they dictate your clothing?
Yeah.
What are those sorts of rules? Well, okay, because you were playing with a girl before who was like had a young audience. Was that the thing? Like, just don't wear a shirt that has like a dick on it or something?
There's no way I could have worn this shirt or any like band shirt or any whatever. I don't know. I saw Guns N' Roses the other night, and Slash had a shirt of Mickey giving it to Minnie doggy style. and I thought that was pretty interesting. And now I feel like I'm allowed to express myself with those kind of shirts.
In that case, though, like, what is there specific rules, or like, would you literally like show up and like there's some handler guy that's just like, no, you're not wearing that?
Well, you kind of get a feel for it. You're like, it's. You get denied a couple times and you start to learn what they're looking for. I mean, I'm not a complete jackass, so, I don't show up in a fucking clown wig and, whatever. I don't know. Whatever the kids are doing these days.
You should show up in a clown wig.
Well, like the other day, our saxophone player, he has a Deadpool onesie and he wore that.
Okay.
Like, it doesn't matter. In this band.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. It's a good gig.
Is there a lot of saxophone players in the bands you've been playing with?
No, never. So it's cool. I get to play off. We play off each other. We rip and dip together.
You did Ellen too, didn't you? You did some TV performances.
Oh, I did Ellen.
Stupid.
No, that was cool. Yeah, I've done some cool shit.
Yes, I'm testing the audio.
Yeah, does it sound all right?
It sounds all right to me.
How's my voice?
Sounds good.
Should I get deeper inside? Andrew? I don't feel safe.
It's one of those moments where I'm glad it's being filmed.
Yeah.
See, he's just talking to a microphone.
I'm just talking.
How about this? Let's start diving into the album.
Okay.
So let's listen to one questions. Now. We are going to listen to a track. This is called Ends of the Earth by DROID BISHOP. And that was Ends of the Earth by DROID BISHOP. And I'm here with DROID BISHOP right now, James Bowen, in my studio.
What's up, y'all?
Yeah.
Coming in hot from Toronto.
Is it fair to call this a studio?
Yeah. It's all subjective at this point. Is this the part where you ask me, what inspired this song? Because I feel like I don't have those kind of answers for you.
Well, okay, well what inspired this song?
Yeah.
I was going to talk about it a bit because what I dug about this one, and we know, I made that music video, right? The DROID BISHOP music video, Exodus. Ends of the Earth, I feel, is the end of the story.
Yeah, but the beginning of another one. That's why I put it at the beginning.
Are these in order?
No, but that one's first. I know I said no particular order when I sent it to you.
Well, see, because what I was thinking was, okay, not to get too inside because it'll be like 10 years before I end up doing the other ones. Yeah. But the idea is, so if people haven't seen it, there's a music video for Exodus by DROID BISHOP that I did, and it's about a spaceman, and he crashes on a planet, and he's like remembering back to like leaving his son on this planet, and he wants to get home, and he's got to survive because his ship is blowing up. So then the idea was originally to have a sequel video, but that would be like a different sort of genre. So it's like now he's on this planet, maybe he's got to survive something. I mean, it'd be more inspired by like Predator, like there's some creature. Yeah, and he's got to live. And then listening to Ends of the Earth, I was like, okay, well, this is if there was a third video and maybe there was like 2 songs to it, but like Ends of the Earth, it sounds to me like the end of like he reaches home and this is the song that's playing as his ship is like coming in or whatever. Because it has like there is sort of an interstellar Starfield kind of vibe to this one.
That's
like
what I was going for.
It really feels that way. Like when I was listening to it,
inspired by that movie, to be honest.
Yeah,
Interstellar. Yeah.
Well, I was meaning just like Interstellar,
but
just
I mean,
Interstellar.
Yeah, like, it kind of inspired me. I mean, when I was making this one, I think I told you this a while ago. Like I was working on another kind of song, like Exodus, for you to hopefully do in the next 13 or 14 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ends of the Earth. The guy travels. Lots of shit happens. Gets to the ends of the earth. What do you do now? Take back off into
you know what's interesting?
Interstellar.
And what's interesting too is like thinking about Interstellar, because the idea I originally had in my head, thinking like if there was a trilogy of these Droid Bishop videos, was kind of similar to what happens in the movie Interstellar, because I pictured too that if ever this spaceman got home, he would travel through some sort of wormhole or something, that when he got back, his son would be grown up.
Yeah.
Like that I picture, and that's what happens in
cool.
Interstellar.
I like that.
But I thought like that'd be cool. Like so he finally gets there and his kid's grown up, and then like whether or not you see him take the mask off or whatever, because I was always thinking too, like I always wanted to get you filmed just even in a green screen, like even if if we could shoot, like I would still do the rest of the video, but if ever the guy takes the mask off, like I want it to be you under the mask, and whether or not that has to be like an effects shot.
And then I take off my face and it's you underneath my head.
No, I'll play the son. I'll be the grown up. I'll be the grown up son, and I'll like have like a beard and shit.
Father.
No, but that would be cool. Or you could play the son too, and like we do like some makeup, so like the son has like sort of a different look, but then the dad's got like a beard,
like a little looper.
Yeah,
like how they made Joseph whatever
we'll just give
look like Bruce.
Yeah, we'll just give you like
Brucey.
weird false nose
just
with some crazy eye contacts.
Well, I can just go run out and grab a Seth MacFarlane rubber mask and just chuck it on, and we'll call it a day.
So, man,
yeah,
how's Toronto so far? You've been here for what, an hour?
That was quite the segue.
See, now people can see when it's live, if they think that I'm editing, and somehow like there's like editing that goes on.
This guy,
man, they just switch topics real fast, and nope.
Just do really bad cuts.
I will.
Toronto's great. The city looks nice. I wish I was here for the nighttime. We got to leave pretty early. It looks like Bladerunner out here. I think it's got a very Bladerunner light show coming from the buildings. No?
Yeah. No, I mean, I think are they filming that here, or is that in Montreal?
What, number 2?
Yeah, I think they're filming it in Montreal.
Who's directing that?
French dude.
Not Scott.
But then, to be fair,
I don't want him to anymore.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry, bud.
That's the thing.
Couple snoozers coming out.
Yeah, I feel bad about that. Like, whenever people get so excited about like Ridley Scott movies now, and I'm just like,
no.
Has there been any that have been like? I mean, it's like I don't even really love Gladiator.
Dude, I was about to say the exact same thing. Fuck that movie.
But that's the thing.
It's a cool movie, but it ain't like you can't compare that to Alien.
No. And that's the thing, because I know people still, I know a lot of people who still hold Gladiator like pretty highly, like that's like one of his great ones. And I'm like, to me, it's like, it's
too fucking long.
Blade Runner and Alien. I like Legend, although it's flawed.
I've still never seen it because it looks a little.
If you haven't seen it until now, you will not.
Exactly.
Like it. Yeah.
So I'm done with it.
But it's cool. Like, it's got cool shit.
Thelma and Louise. I fucking love that movie. Ridley Scott.
Is that 88?
Hans Zimmer, 1990, I believe.
Is it 90?
Yeah, it hit the mark.
Okay.
It hit that decade.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think what else he's done lately that's been, because like Prometheus was just a.
Dude, I liked it. You didn't like it?
No.
I liked it because everyone fucking de-hyped it down. So I went in thinking it was going to be shit.
I thought it looked cool. There's nothing I can say that's original criticism, but the inconsistencies with like the characters really it actually made me mad. Like, no, like when I was watching it, like I can watch a movie that's like cool visually and like forget about certain things. I mean, like I enjoyed Batman versus Superman.
I didn't see it.
So like I'm there, like I understand, liking a movie that seems to be like critically panned.
Yeah.
Although I will say the Ultimate Edition of Batman versus Superman is a better movie. And if people watch it, they should watch that version.
What do you mean the ultimate?
The director's cut.
Oh.
So before that movie went to cinemas,
Zack Snyder?
Yeah, they cut half an hour out of the movie before it went to theaters, and so a lot of the problems people had, like, it still is tonally the same. So if people just had a problem with the fact that it's really like dour and depressing, like that hasn't changed. But the half hour they cut out, some of those scenes are like sort of integral to explaining the plot. So if you watch the theatrical cut of Batman vs Superman, it's this weird disjointed movie that like you're watching going like, how do these scenes connect and what's going on? And then the director's cut is almost just like, it just feels like a proper movie again. It's still not perfect.
No, I get that. That's what happens when you fucking make a 7-hour movie and have to cut it down.
And it feels like they did some of the changes last minute. Because when you find out the stuff that they cut, some of it's just like, that was a weird thing to cut because it's like things that explain plot points. But with Prometheus, the thing was, I got mad at the characters. Like, I got angry. Like, I was watching with my brother and I was prepared to just be like, this movie looks so cool. I'm fine with that. But then the second the scientist, when they get lost in the cave and like the dude who like introduces the characters to the 3D maps gets lost, like there's just things where I'm just like, what? And then when they take their helmets off in the cave on an alien planet, and then one guy walks up to an alien python and...
What?
Remember how there's different forms of like that black goo alien thing? And one of them like literally looks like a fucking snake. And the guy walks up to it like, you're beautiful. Yeah. I'm just like... Even if it doesn't, it's a fucking snake. Yeah. Like, at least pretend, like, your first instinct as a human would be
to not go near that.
I don't know what it is, but it's a fucking snake. It looks like a snake, so I'm just going to assume that it behaves like one and not stick my face in its face. So stuff like that, I'm just like...
I get it.
And it made me mad, and then the logic of the evolution of the creature that shows up at the end made very little sense to me. So it was like, if you go near black goo and it goes into your eye... and then you have sex with somebody else, that then it will gestate inside that person and then form like some weird octopus thing that like becomes a sort of alien at the end. Like, it was just really complicated.
It's all science, It's all science.
Oh, and then the scene where they're running away from the ship and it's rolling.
I can't even fucking remember the movie now. You're telling us all these scenes. I'm like, when does this happen?
And then the scene where Charlize Theron, like, and then Guy Pearce, he's like an old man.
Oh, yeah.
And then she walks in, it's like, father, like the twist because he's her dad. And like,
I get it.
It looked great, and the script was just like, that's the thing, because I didn't want to feel that way, because I can do it. Like, I can watch movies that are just purely about the atmosphere or about the visuals and stuff. But the characters annoyed me so much, and the things that they did annoyed me so much that it actually like, it made me not like it as I was watching it, and it surprised me. Like, I was actually surprised by my own reaction, because I was just like, I'm not one of those people that gets so worked up, like, whenever people always say, like, oh, worst movie ever. I'm like, no, there's always, like, the worst movie ever is like those things you don't even see, like terrible college films that you couldn't even watch. Like, all Hollywood stuff is watchable. Like, it's hard to say it's the worst.
I thought Dumb and Dumber 2 was the worst movie I've ever seen. I swear to God. I swear to you.
It looked cheap, that film.
Well, I know they both got $20 million for it, I'm sure.
That's probably where it all went.
Yeah, it all went to their pocket.
Yeah, because it looked like, sometimes where they have like those like made for Netflix movies or stuff that like...
Oh, like The Do-Over? Have you seen that Adam Sandler movie with David Spade?
No, I watched the fucking Western one. I don't know why.
Oh, dude, that one was terrible. I mean... Adam, if you're listening, I love your movies from the 90s, but God damn it, boy. These are terrible. The 6th one, fantastic. What Majestic 7, whatever the fuck it was.
It was so bad.
Terrible. All right.
One more thing to say about that movie, though.
And another thing.
There's some stuff, like, I don't want to be one of those people who just like kind of rags on Adam Sandler.
Talking about?
The Adam Sandler
the
one.
Western one?
Yeah. Whatever, the 6th.
Old,
shitty.
But the old miserable 6.
There are times where I'm wondering, like, if they're in the studio, or they're like in the writer's room.
Yeah, they're like laughing.
Are they laughing?
I think they are.
Are they, though? Like, there was a scene in the beginning of that movie where it explains how his mother was killed.
Yeah.
And it's like not funny. Like, it's like literally like, this is supposed to be a comedy, and there's a scene where this kid watches his mom get gunned down, and then it's in slow motion, and you see like blood hit the kid's face, and you're just like, okay, come on. Like, clearly everyone in the room could have been like, even if his mother was killed as part of the backstory of this character, you could have played that scene a lot differently than playing it for real and like showing a kid watch his mother get killed. Like, it's just like, it's so unfunny.
I mean, the writing room, like anything can be funny, and then it gets fucked up, editing, whatever, vibe, direction.
I don't believe that they laugh. I honestly believe that they sit there and they just go, this would be funny. You know what I mean? Like, they sit there and be like, oh, you know, it'd be funny if a midget walked in and then an old grandma.
Side-splitting laughter coming from the room? I don't know about that. Now, Big Bang Theory writing room, I bet that's a fucking riot up in there.
Oh, man, that show
is a brick house.
Is interesting. Let's listen to another song.
Sure.
All right. This is a track, and it's called In Search of Avalon by DROID BISHOP.
Let's go find her.
that was In Search of Avalon by DROID Bishop. And I'm here with DROID Bishop right now. James Bowen in studio.
In Toronto.
It's exciting, right?
At you. Yeah.
When did we meet? Like 2 years ago, 2.5 years?
Well, we just met in person.
That's true.
But we've been...
Do you find it weird?
No. Because we've had
I've been told that
in-depth conversations.
If you stare into somebody's eyes for, 3 minutes?
Well, let's not go there right now. I don't want to know you that well in the biblical sense.
I challenge you to.
We'll get there.
Yeah, no, it's neat to finally fucking
we're here.
Meet people, man, that are in the scene.
Yeah. How many people have come through here?
Okay, Adam McNabb from Le Cassette.
And he's still here.
Yeah.
Where is he?
Yeah. That's why they haven't put out any new music, because I fucking killed him after that. Dana G in Phoenix and Nina. Nina. You'll know Nina. I'll show you Nina. Actually, you know what? I still have... They gave me a card.
They?
Well, it was her and her manager.
Her manager? You let management down here?
Dana Jean came with a dude.
With what kind of dude?
His name's Big Al or Fat Al.
Big Gay Al. By the way, you're totally off mic right now. I hope you know that. I hope you realize that you didn't bring this giant microphone with you.
There. That's Nina.
Oh, Nina. Nina in the cantina, boys and girls, equal.
Sorry, I guess I was off mic for that whole thing.
So she lives in Canada?
No, she's German, lives in England. She produced a pretty good track with Sunglasses Kid did like a track, and then and then another producer, some dude called I think Richard X or something, did like the mat.
Sorry, just having fun.
This is the purely visual stuff that you can only appreciate by
just being here with us, just feeling the room.
We're having fun. Do you want to?
Yeah, let's crack open some more Dos Equis. These are fake non-alcoholic beers, by the way. Do you want me to tell a story while you're getting?
Did I say that was In Search of Avalon? And that was In Search. Oh yeah, I did, right? Because I said you're back. Okay, tell me about the track while I'm gonna get some more beer.
I'm not gonna talk to an empty room about my music. Just go get the beers, Andy. I'll tell some funny story. Okay. By the way, I gotta tell you that story about
what?
I don't know. Maybe you told me to write a list, and I had a story for you about being chased by a white-hating rally of Hispanic young men, dude.
What?
Well, I guess I'll tell the story now. So I was
magical thing, or do you want me to
I'll do that for you. Just pop the top here. No fuss.
James is one of those talented people who can open the beers with his lighter.
You know it.
I have a buddy who does that all the time. I've never figured out how to do it.
Hear that pop?
Yeah.
You hear that snap?
Yeah, I did.
Hey, let's cheers. All right, so I'll just try to get through this story real quick. So one day I'm walking through downtown.
What does the story have to do with In Search of Avalon?
Well, I said, okay, you told me to tell it to you when I got here.
Yeah, well, it was supposed to be when I left. Now I'm back.
Oh, well, it's a long story. So let's continue, and then we'll, if we have time, we'll go through my life's adventures.
Tell me your adventure story. All right.
No. Should I just do it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm walking downtown. I think it was after actually seeing a Future Holotape show.
Okay.
And I was downtown with my buddy.
And how were they?
They were great, man. They're good friends of mine. And they're playing some show with Syntax in Arizona, I guess, soon. Anyway, I've seen them a couple times. I digress. Now I'm losing myself here.
All right,
okay,
so
I'm a little tipsy, walk out of their show, I'm going to a buddy's house, me and my buddy walking down the street, downtown, bad neighborhood, really hammered, see some dudes in some metal shirts, some Iron Maidens, your Megadeths, what have you. I'm wearing a metal shirt. I'm like, cool, metal people. Yeah. There must be some sort of underground concert going on in here. Like, what's up, dudes? Metal. And they just looked at me, and I walked inside and realized I was in a rally for white hatred against, some Hispanic group of, I walked in and
Wait, do you do that regularly? Like just if you see something going on, you're just hey, let's see what this is about.
This is how adventures happen. So I walk in and I was like, what's up, dudes? Metal concert in here? Cool. And then the room just you could hear a fucking pin drop in there. The room just turns to me, and there's this dude at a table like this, with a pad and paper, fucking door entry. He's like, yo, what the fuck are you doing here, man? And I was like, not a metal concert, not a rock show, kids. And I'm like, all right, now I know where I am. I'm sorry, I didn't mean anything. And I'm backing up, and he's like, yo, what'd you say, dog? And I was like, nothing, sir, and kept walking.
Oh no.
Boom. like me and my boy like leave, start walking quickly. I'm like, pick up the pace, let's go. And you just hear from behind like, yo, what'd you say, fool? And like more footsteps are being added to the soundtrack, and we start to run. They chase us down. There's like 20 dudes, like skateboard bicycle crew. I'm like gonna take a skateboard to the face. I know, and hospital trip. Here we go. I'm running. I got black lungs. It's terrible. I'm running as fast as I can. We split off. I find these cars parking lot, and I go underneath the car. I'm just like shivering, waiting under there, and I just see all these like footprints like stopping and like, you know.
Wait, you hit under a car like a movie?
Yeah, I hit under a car like a movie.
I don't even think I
don't know if they shit their pants in movies, but you know, it's pretty terrifying. And I just see these feet, and I'm like, okay, they all go away, and I like wait for like 5 minutes. I get up, and I see like one straggling guy like just standing there with a skateboard like in attack mode. He was a little young, so I was like, dude, I didn't say anything. I don't know what happened. We're all good. And he kind of looked around to see if his buddies were watching, and he just kind of like shook his head and just ran off.
So what, did you ever do any like follow-up research as to like what that was?
It seemed like some sort of rally, dude. Like it was all Hispanic dudes in metal shirts. Like, what was I supposed to think, man? Can't we all just enjoy the metal together? I don't know. I don't get all that shit.
That's fucking terrifying.
Yeah, but it was cool. It was fun. I continued. I met up with my buddy after that, and we continued to have a good time. Anyway.
Well, that
was one adventure.
Yeah, that's bonkers, man. I'm not that adventurous. If I'm like walking down at nighttime and I see like weirdos, like,
you know, you got a wife and kid to think about, you know.
Yeah, like
you got to be responsible for
Hey, bunch of weirdos, where are you guys hanging out? Yeah, all right, I'll go down there.
Does that seem weird? Does it seem weird to you to like just say fuck it and go and just? What are you guys up to?
No, I mean, like, that's the way the world should work. Like, when people are, like, open to things, like, when you have strike up conversations with strangers and find out what people are up to and stuff, like, that's the way it should be, right? I feel uncomfortable doing that, and everyone's looking at their phones now, so it doesn't seem like there's that much going on.
Yeah.
But people do like real interaction.
Yeah.
And, you know, if there's people who have stuff that they want to tell you, like, people get really excited when they can actually, like, talk to you and tell you things, like, in person about themselves. So I think it's a good thing, but maybe it is weird because like
it's only weird because we fucking made it weird.
Yeah,
and it's not weird to me. And after that, I made a point like, don't let this ruin your outgoing.
Yeah, maybe next time I can stumble into a white power rally and at least have been like in the right place.
Just have a lot of beers and wander into a bad neighborhood. That's how you have adventures, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I don't know. Those sorts of zones and cities always just make me feel super uncomfortable.
I know, that's the point, though. You know, step outside your comfort zone.
Yeah, I guess. Is that where you get the energy for the music? You get energized by...
I get energized by life.
Yeah?
Yeah. By real life. This is real life.
That is real life. That's a real adventure.
Day drinking.
Yeah.
In your studio.
Let's work our way through.
Okay, yeah.
Do you have a name for it? The album?
Name for what? Oh, yeah. Lost in Symmetry.
Oh, that is like, so that's the title track?
Yeah.
Perfect. Because that's the next one I was going to talk about. Yeah, let's listen to it, all right?
This is in studio.
This is Lost in Symmetry by DROID BISHOP. And that was Lost in Symmetry by DROID Bishop. And I'm here with DROID Bishop right now.
You found me.
James Bowen. I forgot to mention about In Search of Avalon, which I probably should have done before we started playing this song.
Well, we all know you're the king of segues. So
I'll tell you what I love about this one. You've thrown in throughout this album, and In Search of Avalon has it too, those awesome like disco-y laser noises.
Oh, yeah.
Which I love. I mean, I guess In Search of Avalon sort of like at just the beginning of the track, but I'm a big fan of those things.
Yeah, I like them too.
And they really make the whole thing feel like spacey and stuff.
I like them too. I mean, people do them. I didn't want to overdo it, but fuck it. Sounds good.
Yeah, no, it does. I think it sounds awesome. But tell me about Lost in Symmetry. So this is the title track of the...
this is the title track. This is your big boy. What do you want to know? My face is just like right up on this microphone too.
Sometimes people get on my case because I don't ask enough of the in-depth musical nerdy questions.
Who cares?
So...
Fuck you guys out there. Fucking Andy's show and he'll do what he wants.
It's not my opinion. I appreciate all my listeners, and
he does not. He's lying.
So this is a question. This is I was trying to come up with a segue like musical thing for this, and I'll get Hoo-Ha to write me a jingle.
Yeah.
It's essentially Andy asks boring questions, and then we just sort of move on.
Well, I'm used to that by now, Andrew. Fuck you, man. All right, ask me your nerd music question.
What DAW do you use?
I use Logic.
Do you?
Yeah, I'm still on Logic 9. I know everyone's like, get 10. But, you know.
I'm using 10 right now.
There you go. This motherfucker has 10. I only use 9.
To be fair, 10 is the first one I bought. Because I used to use Fruity Loops for everything.
Yeah.
And even when I used to do the show, I recorded the audio in a different program and then did the editing in a different program. But now, when I first got Logic, I just got 10 because that's the one that was out.
Killer story.
Yeah, man.
I love the middle part of that.
Listen. No, okay, I'll make it better. So anyway, so Logic was coming at me, right? It had a skateboard. I fucking dove under a car and I hid there. Took a shit.
In
stood
your
up.
pants.
I looked right in the Logic's eye and was just like, man, I did not know.
I
did not know this was some Mexican power rally. I apologize. Just give me the program.
Just give me the 10, man.
So I got it. Logic Pro X.
Logic X.
Okay, so you use Logic.
I use Logic. It's good.
Do you have any favorite plugins? This is Synthetic Sunday.
Fuck yeah, mate.
Well, that's right. Do it.
Nah. Once upon a time. I will tell you this little trick, though.
What's the trick?
Marco, you'll get a kick out of this, you old son of a bitch.
You gotta stop tapping the table. I bet you that's literally like translating into the microphone.
It is, right? How bad is that out there?
Do it.
I'll tell you what.
Well, whatever. It's
all right. Whatever. It's just I'm a tapper.
Yeah.
All right. I'll give you a little trick.
Tell me.
Say "rise up lights" really quickly. And
rise up lights.
You said razor blades.
Rise up lights. Rise up lights.
Rise up lights.
Rise up lights.
Kind of works.
Yeah. Okay. So people, I don't know if people know this about you, but you were born in Australia.
Yeah.
But you are an American now.
Well, I'm still a citizen.
Halvesies?
No, I got a green card for America.
How long have you been in the States?
22 years.
How's that work?
Green card's forever, unless you fucking.
Did you ever see that movie Green Card with Gerard Depardieu?
Of course, man. I think you have to watch that before they give you one.
Oh, yeah, before you take the test.
Yeah.
It's all just questions about the movie.
No names, but I had a friend that actually married a chick so she could get her green card.
Yeah, that's what happens, right?
Yeah.
That'll be one of the questions on the test.
Mm-hmm.
Are you the Andy McDowell or the
which one?
Or the Gerard Depardieu of this situation?
Terrible movie.
So, do an Australian accent.
Nah.
Did you get embarrassed?
No, it's
look
just
at you, you're smiling now. Look at this.
Nah, I'm not gonna do it.
You can do it though.
No, not really. It comes and goes.
We talked about this before because you were playing a show with your brother.
Yeah, and it was like,
Sam Sparrow, and
it was like, yeah, it was real for the moment. It came out. Look, it's been a while.
It's been a while
since I've done the Aussie accent.
You should do it, man. I can't, because I can't do it at all.
I can't do. There's things certain words that come out incorrectly if I'm doing, lots of dialogue, and it self-consciously I can't have any other Aussies hear me do that. You know what I mean?
Oh, because they will be like, what is that?
Like one time I opted to get a ticket from a police officer instead of just faking the accent because I was around a bunch of my Aussie friends and I just couldn't. let them hear me do it incorrectly. So I just said, give me the ticket
for being an American.
No, because they all had Aussie passports and IDs. They were visiting, and I had no driver's license at the time. I had my Aussie passport, so all I had to do was just show them that, and then just start faking the accent, like, oh, I'm just visiting.
Oh, in the States.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Sorry.
I needed a little more, preface into that.
What was the crime of not having an identification?
It was like we all weren't wearing seatbelts in the car.
Oh, okay.
It was a minor infraction.
Right.
I wasn't going to the slammer or anything for that. But that's a little insight into the psyche of me. That's like, I would rather take a ticket than have my boys fucking bag on me for not being able to do that accent.
But you should have just done it, right?
Yeah.
In hindsight?
No. I made the right choice.
Okay.
I paid for that ticket. Is it really coming through?
Well, it's coming. It's sound.
Okay.
These things do pick up noise.
Yeah. I like to tap things. When I'm at home talking to you, I'm slamming on things, dude. It's fucking getting hot down here. Like
we should point out that it's hot as shit in Toronto right now. It's 40 degrees Fahrenheit, or it feels like 40 degrees Fahrenheit.
Which is like
34, 35.
It's like high 90s.
With the Humidex.
Yeah. The old Humidex.
Yeah. What happens?
That's a cool band name.
Humidex?
Yeah. Human X? Humidex.
It's the
Hubert?
Oh, now you fucked
Yeah,
up.
I did.
Hold on.
I got you.
Humidex.
Humidity.
It's the humidity index.
I get where it's coming from.
It's the index.
I get what you're doing here.
Of humidity.
It's great.
Humidity. Humidex.
All right, we're losing focus here. These beers are getting to us.
All right, listen.
It's only 9 in the morning.
Let's listen to another track.
Cool.
This is terrible radio.
Your list is right in front of you, Andy. Songs are right there.
Let's listen to another track. This is called Ready Player One by DROID BISHOP.
Let's play.
And that was Ready Player One by Droid Bishop.
Yes.
And I'm here with Droid Bishop right now in studio. It's always fun to do these in studio interviews. They
How's
make
it
me
going
happy.
out there?
Ready Player One, obviously inspired by the book.
Yeah.
So do you read a lot?
No, I rarely read.
Is that like the first book you've read since Australia?
No, I'll tell you, it's the last book I've read completely in the last 7 years.
I don't even think I've read a book in like decades.
Yeah, I don't read a lot, but this book got me back into it. It was a fun adventure, page turner, super 80s based story. Lots of references, and it's cool. And Spielberg's doing the movie, so I'm hoping like to just slip this song to the guy who wrote the book somehow.
Yeah.
Through some sort of degree of separation. He knows my buddy Troy Baker.
Yeah.
The old voice actor.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try and sneak it in there somehow and be like, I wrote this song for you.
You name dropping. Troy Baker is in like literally every single video game I play.
Troy Baker.
He's a voice. He's a voice.
I'm trying to get him. He's the voice of reason, if you will. I'm trying to get him on the show. He'll come on, dude. He's a cool dude. I'm doing a remix for him right now.
Yeah,
Droid Bishop.
That'd be cool. I'd love to talk to him because he's literally like, my son loves Infamous, like the game Infamous for PlayStation, and like Troy Baker is like the main character in it.
Yeah,
and that would be exciting for my son.
Dude, he would do it.
I don't know
this is totally his demographic.
I don't know that my son would understand the concept. Like, I think he doesn't quite get, like, sometimes he's
like, hey, this is the character, this is Mr. Baker.
Yeah, I don't think he's there
for him.
Well, no, I think it's okay to know.
What, do you tell your kid there's no Santa Claus too? What's going on here?
Yeah,
fucking Easter Bunny.
We have our own things we perpetuate. That every Christmas it's a demon that shows up.
Oh, you got to keep them real.
No, I don't mind them knowing how movies are made. I think that's okay.
Yeah, now that we're adult males, it's good. But before,
no, you know what though? As a kid,
I don't like to know how the sausage is made. I just like to eat it.
It's a funny expression that people use when they talk about the sausage being made, because I do kind of like to know how the sausage is made.
I don't want to know what kind of fucking hooves and penises are in there.
Yeah, it's not the problem that there is penises, but what kind of penis?
What kind are there? There's many kinds.
Man, I ain't eating no bison penis. That's
dude. Oh.
But the thing is, I mean, when it comes to sausage, I would rather know a little less. But when I was a kid, finding out how they made movies was actually like, it was interesting to me. And I think the difference between movies now and movies then is now that there's so much CGI, even though it still takes a lot of work and a lot of people to do it, it's less interesting to me than the actual work with your hands that goes into building practical effects.
Yeah.
When I watched movies when I was young, I used to I would pause them and watch them in slow motion and stuff. So I watched like Terminator 2, for instance, and I watch it in like slow-mo.
Yeah.
And then there's that scene in the bar where he's fighting the dudes at the beginning, and then one dude like sticks him with a knife.
Fuck yeah.
And if you watch it in slow motion, the knife bends right at the end. There's one frame of the knife bending, so it's a rubber knife. But as a kid, that didn't upset me. That was like, oh, that's cool. That's how they did it. He's got a rubber knife. And then there's like a scene where Arnold gets up and he gets his arm ripped off. And if you actually watch that scene a few times, in like the fucking metal factory, you see that his real arm is just fucking bandaged up in like a blue bandage.
Yeah, for one frame.
Yeah, there's like a shot where he gets up and you just clear, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. Like, it's like so clear.
Well, there's 24, well, depending on what you're doing, 24 frames a second. And I used to fucking rotoscope, and like, dude, 1 second is a lot of work.
Yeah.
To do things in.
Oh,
whether it's converting or CGI stuff. 24 frames, 1 second. Just that 1 second, right? Was it just a frame that you paused?
In the case of Arnold's arm, it's one of those things where they did it in such a way that it's bandaged in blue and like the background is kind of blue, so they just assume you won't notice. And I didn't for years.
You don't notice when you're watching
No, because I watched it for years, but once you see it, then you can't unsee it.
Yeah.
And literally,
it's like horse fucks man.
I don't know what that is.
Well, I can't unsee it. So I'll tell you that much.
But his arm is clearly wrapped in a bandage, and once you do see it, it's actually a really long sequence where he stands up and sort of gets up, and you just see his arm. It's just this, it's like this fucking thing right there. But the point is, stuff like that actually got me like interested in making videos because it showed me like, hey, this is how it could be done. That's why when I watch like old episodes of Doctor Who, and everyone makes fun of it for being so cheap, but what I liked as a kid was I could actually see like, oh, I get how they made this.
Yeah.
I can actually see the stagehand fucking pulling the future door. Like, because Doctor Who can get pretty silly sometimes with like the stuff that with this budget. Like there's episodes where literally like a future door opens and I can see like the silhouette of a stagehand, like like fucking fully.
It's terrible.
But that got me interested in wanting to make stuff because I'm like it seemed plausible to me. Whereas like CGI, there's no I don't know, like it looks cool and I appreciate that there's a lot of work, but it doesn't excite me in that same way of just like, there's a bunch of dudes in a room working for 2 weeks on like a shot.
It's not exciting.
Not as cool as when you watch like, like The Thing or something and you just go like, how the fuck, it's like a rubber head and like it's puppeted and
it's like they fucking prep that shot like all day and then it gets fucked up and it's like, okay, we got another 10 hours to set this bad boy up. Like the whole fucking head falling off scene, whatever, the green vial coming out. I heard he got fucked up or something, or like that took forever, and the guy's just like so uncomfortable. His head, his body's under the table, all that shit. God, it just seems like so much effort, but you get what you put in. And it stands. I like practical effects.
And they definitely, like, when they're done well, like The Thing is like one of the most sort of like cited examples of those. Like it still is great and it's creepy as shit
looks
and it's
good.
real.
There's a few things it's like, it looks 80s, but
that's the one thing I'll say about Legend though. Like as a movie, it's a weird disjointed thing that like if you watch it now, you will be like, what is up with this movie? But Tim Curry in the darkness makeup is awesome. Like his performance and the way he looks is awesome. It is worth it just to watch the scenes just for him. Because the costume is so good. And there's another creature in the film called like Mucklebones Meg, which is like another kind of dude in the costume.
Mucklebones?
Yeah, it's like this thing. It's like, I'm too bad. Anyway, whatever. But like, it's also great too. Like it's just, when you just see like awesome practical like fantasy makeup, it's like, it's so fucking cool. You want to listen to another song?
God damn it. God damn it, Andy. These segues are just out of control.
All right, let's do it. We're gonna listen to a track called Time Runner. You happy about that?
Let's go.
All right, this is Time Runner by DROID BISHOP. And that was... Oh, you going to say
No, I wasn't going to say anything. Stop feeding me beers.
And
Maybe
that was...
Make sense.
And that was Time Runner by DROID BISHOP. And I'm here with DROID BISHOP right now. James Bowen in studio.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Super stoked.
I did a show with Myron. I said I liked his music because it stood out to me. You know, he was doing a thing that people weren't doing in the synth scene, you know, at that point. Like the cheesy 80s guitar stuff that sounds like it's coming from like Transformers, the movie or whatever. Like that, like he's fulfilling a niche. And I would always use him as an example of like, here's a guy with a sound. Like when I hear it, I'm like, that's Myron.
Yeah.
And I mentioned that you were coming over or whatever, that we were going to shoot a thing. And he's like, oh yeah, it's DROID BISHOP that like got me into it. Like,
I know, he told me that one. So I was like, oh, you're so sweet.
Well, it's awesome the way like all these things, you know, when you hear like the different people that inspire different people. Like I had Makeup and Vanity, and like I know that like Le Cassette cited, you know, like listening to that stuff early on.
Yeah.
That's sort of inspiring to make stuff. So it's always cool how everything.
I'm wearing a Power Glove shirt. And,
is that the chain? We can trace that back.
Well, to me, like they're top notch, and I like we don't release shit for like 2 years or 3 years or whatever. I like that. People over release. Clearly I don't, because I've been trying. I was supposed to release this last year, but I don't know. I think quality over quantity.
Have you just been busy? Like what's the...
No, I was a little through not getting into it too deep. I was a little unhappy with how things came about from my last release, whatever, Beyond the Blue, sonically, like audio wise as well, and like just things about it, like just that experience was like not fun for me.
Okay.
So it was like very nervous, like releasing something after that. That's the core of it. It's deeper than that, but I was very like, it's not good enough, or like I don't want to make any more. I didn't want to do it anymore, to be honest. So, but I got a lot of feedback from people that were really cool and supportive. So I'm like, well, I owe it to these fans to like at least put out what I've got.
Yeah.
So we'll see how you like it. Be kind with your mean comments you send me.
So it's just album be like called What I Got.
What I Got. To be honest, I think I put a lot of effort into it. I don't know what you think.
I think it sounds great. I mean, I liked Beyond the Blue, but I think in terms of the sound, and again, like I'm terrible with like musical stuff.
No, it was terrible. I was fucked up when I made it.
What does that mean?
I was like I was a little out of my mind. We'll just put it that way.
Like a heartache thing or a drug thing?
No, well, it was all of the above. I was just in a mess, just darkness. Getting way too fucked up.
Like I think when I listen to them, you know, all back to back, and I like Beyond the Blue, like there's some tracks I really like on there, but as far as like the mix goes, it's a little more like higher range.
Oh, dude, it's terrible. Like I'm here to clear it up right now, because I felt really bad after that. Like after I put that out, and it was shit. It was terrible mix, and I don't know what I was doing. Like I was literally like fucked up. Like I was putting too many things in my body and my brain. As I was making this, I was getting real lifted.
Yeah.
You know what would make this sound better? More reverb and drugs. Press record. It's terrible. So I apologize to anyone out there that I've made their ears bleed. And thanks for sticking by me. Hopefully this one's better.
Well, I will say, like, like this one definitely has some nice fat beats and bass lines and stuff, and it sounds good, and it definitely is more. But as I say, I liked Beyond the Blue, but like this one does sound more like a return to the DROID BISHOP sound that
so
got
it
me
sounds
excited.
More like how it should, right? No?
Well, it's an interesting way of phrasing that. Yeah, sure. Right? It sounds good. What do you want from me?
Pleasing to your ears?
Yeah, it made me happy.
Okay.
I like it. Good. I like all the fucking spacey sounds. I like the fat bass lines and beats. I like.
Yeah, I mean, I went a little experimental here and there. I don't want to do what other people are doing. There's no need for. I know you do. You're a derivative son of a bitch. You know, what's the point of like let's all do the same fucking beats? Like, too many people are doing that.
Yeah.
I think. Of course, we all start doing similar things, but even though it's a fun, jokey kind of 80s thing, like, I don't want it to be, it's not a joke to me. So if I can make the music palatable for people now, and it's not just some niche thing, of course, I don't want to steer too far away from like the core of what it's supposed to be, but there's no fucking rules here. And if you think there are, then don't make music.
What I like too, what I said about Myron earlier, and artists like Perturbator and stuff, whatever, like the people that have a sound, and I think like DROID BISHOP has a sound, and that's the ultimate goal. That should be the ultimate goal of anybody, because I do listen to a lot of synthwave stuff where it's indistinguishable from other stuff. Doesn't mean it's not good, right? Like I've listened to lots of stuff where I'm like, this song's cool, but if you didn't tell me who the artist was, I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
So you've got some sort of things that you like to do. There's lots of sort of like high register, like arpeggiated things that sort of
I call them butterflies.
Yeah. But it's true. like that is like a DROID BISHOP.
Yeah, I didn't. I'm sure other people have done it. I know that they have, but I kind of like that.
I feel like when I hear like the ones that you do, like they do stand out to me as like, yeah, that's the DROID BISHOP. That's something that he likes to do.
Butterflies over there.
So that's cool. Butterflies. So I'll know that.
That's what I call them
next time. So that's cool. And this one definitely has all the sort of the characteristics, but it's fat and nice to listen to.
That's good. Didn't hurt your ears?
No, it didn't hurt.
It didn't?
Ears. No.
Good.
Was it supposed to?
No. I was terrified. No, I'm I'm still terrified. When it comes to music, like you tie yourself into some of your passions, and like that's your self-worth, which is not healthy. So when shit goes wrong, your whole life is garbage.
That's true. I feel that same way about when I do videos. I said this to Makeup and Vanity Set because we were talking about videos. I talked about the video I made for you, and I talked about that situation with 80s Ladies Records, where that's where you were at the time.
No more.
And I made that video, and then John, who runs it, wanted me to hold off because he wanted to do some stuff to get some publicity. And I remember thinking, and I talked to you about it too, and like nothing weird. It was just like, for me, once I get something finished, like I need people to see it.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I need. And I know what you're talking about, where like if that goes wrong, then the whole thing like flips. Like, so it's that weird feeling. If I put out a video and it's funny and people like it, then I feel great. If I put out something and like kind of gets like one like and no one talks about it, and sort of like, ooh, did I just make it dud? Did I just waste a few weeks?
Well, it's a few weeks. Yeah. Anything sucks when someone doesn't like your work.
Yeah.
But the longer you put into it, the longer you wait, the longer you overanalyze and put all your eggs in this basket, just the more you got riding on it. And you know what? At this point, I don't even care. Like, I just want to put it out. That will be a release for me personally.
Yeah.
And then I don't own it anymore. And you guys like it or you don't. Some people might not. I don't know. Some people will like it. I made it for them. I made it for you. So I didn't make it for you, Andy.
Yeah, you did.
I did. But I just need to get it out. I'm happy to put it out. It's been too long. So and I want to make new tracks and keep it going. So
yeah.
Let's just get it out there.
Yeah, man. Well, let's.
Well, it's out right now.
Let's. Look at that. Let's listen to another track. This is called "When Androids Dream" by DROID BISHOP.
Do they?
And that was When Androids Dream by DROID BISHOP. We've actually listened to the whole thing.
We did.
Is that exciting?
Yeah, we did. Feels good.
That's why I release these shows in like 96 kilobytes so no one can just
rip it?
Yeah, just rip it.
You know what? It's cool. People tell me like, hey, I got your music off fucking Napster or whatever.
Napster still exists?
It does.
I didn't think it did.
Screw you, Metallica.
Yeah.
No, some dude the other day told me, he like, hey, I downloaded your stuff illegally. I'm sorry, I couldn't find it anywhere. I really like it. And I was like, nah, it's cool. Thanks for letting me know.
Yeah, that's a weird thing to say. It's funny what people can be so
say weird shit.
Yes.
You know, like insultingly weird things. Like, slow your roll, people. Like. Dude.
It surprises me sometimes what people can be open about. You see a lot of that on Twitter. Like, just there's some people just say things are just like, are you sure you want like a record of you saying that? I mean, like, whether it's fucking hateful or racist or sexist or whatever, just like, okay, your Twitter handle is your name and a picture of you. And then literally like a sentence that's just like, I hate women.
Yeah.
Like, and just like
white power.
Yeah. Although white power is one of those things that is hilarious to say if you don't mean it.
Is it, Andrew?
Well, if you don't mean it, because then it's fun. Like, to me, there's nothing funnier about an ironic white power.
Well, we've talked about this. Anything can be funny.
But you have to know, I think the thing with like funny stuff is you have to know where the person's coming from.
Well, you have to know who you're talking to too when you make these jokes.
Yeah, because there's people who like they could say the exact same joke and you'd be like, oh, did you mean that?
Yeah.
This is only funny if you don't mean that. Like, because I've got friends like I have friends who are like really, like really liberal and open-minded. Then it is hilarious to like drop an ironic like racist or sexist comment because you know both of you don't actually believe it, and you're sort of more just like making fun of people who do. But
I wish people didn't take it so seriously. And of course, like we're white privileged males, so we have it nice and cushy. And
it's too bad that we're filming this.
Oh, we are white.
Yeah, I can't break the illusion anymore that I'm a black guy.
Well, get your Al Jolson makeup on. And, see, I don't know. Was that appropriate or was that over the line? I don't know.
Super duper.
Blame it on the Ritz.
I'm only saying that because I watched that video the other day.
It's a terrible video.
And
it scares me.
Because I think they did a censored one, but then there's the one you can watch on YouTube that's uncensored.
Tell the listeners what we're talking about.
We're talking about the Putting on the Ritz video by Taco. And
Taco.
Yeah, that's the name of the outfit. And it's like this weird kind of gay dude, we'll say. Maybe he's not gay. In the 80s, it's tricky, right? When you're watching music videos.
No, he's like, high on that scale.
Yeah, it's just like, is this dude gay? Or
he's just fabulous.
It doesn't matter. It's about the music. But anyway, so in the track, there's a bunch of, like I'm defending him, then like followed by, and then there's a bunch of people in blackface. And they come out and they come out with like robot voices and say super duper.
That's terrible.
Trying hard to look like Gary Cooper.
In the censored music video, did they just like, I should watch the censored one to see how they censored it, like if they just blurred their faces or if they like inserted like a new shot whenever
they censored it
happened. Yeah. Well, because it's offensive. Like they're walking around and singing in blackface. So.
Of course, but it's still documented. I don't care for censorship.
Well, I think it must have been censored at the time, whereas like now on YouTube you can just watch the uncensored one. But I'm curious as to be like what they did.
Yeah,
I'll have to look that up.
I mean, it's a terrible video, but I still don't think anything should be censored. Anything.
Yeah. Well, man.
Well. It's good turnip juice.
Yeah, man. It's made in Mexico.
Oh,
this is probably what
they hate
drinking.
Me. Oh, dude, can we talk about me getting into Canada? No.
They hate me.
Dude, they hate me. Dude, your country hates me too. It was so hard to get in here.
I know. I hear that. I hear people
had to do for all you guys out there planning on going to Canada. Don't drink and drive. It's a hell of a procedure to come into this country with any sort of record or.
Oh right, yeah.
I got a DUI like 10 years ago, and I had to pay like a decent amount of money to get in here.
What?
Yeah, to get like a temporary resident permit
because of the DUI.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I had to do a like FBI background check. It was interesting to see all the things I'd forgotten about that were on that background check.
Oh, yeah.
Some good stuff, man. Anyway, they let me in. I crossed the border yesterday.
Do you have to pay that yourself?
Yeah, because it was my mishap. But I'm here now. And
so the money it's not like you have to pay us to come in. It's like you have to pay to do these procedures.
No, it's not like corrupt.
Name. Right, okay.
Although I feel
like a dude with like a Mountie hat that was just like, just give me $20.
I got ripped off here, yeah. Because I don't think I needed to do any of that paperwork anyway. It was just to be safe, not to like get
It's so weird. I hear that. I hear that from people who talk. I remember I think the same thing happened to Ogre. He said he was going to come to Canada.
And you got to drinking, driving?
No, it just there was something like something didn't clear or something, and like he couldn't come in. And
well, I don't know. Like I think it was actually easier for me because I got an Aussie passport.
Right.
And it's like underneath the Commonwealth of the Queen.
Yes.
Like your money looks exactly like Aussie money.
You have Australian money on
No, but like this. That's my wallet, by the way.
Sweet.
Yeah, this looks pretty much like Aussie money. There would be a queen right there, and a little Aborigine guy right here.
Yeah, yeah, we don't have that. Sir Wilfrid Laurier.
Dude, who's that guy?
Wilfrid Laurier. He was a prime minister a long time ago.
Dude, he looks
And on the back, we got a picture of fucking spaceman.
Dude! So how much does it cost to be on this show again?
Sorry, it costs $30.
$30?
And you had to give me a visa and...
I've got a visa and some old receipts here, a couple hotel cards, and there's my driver's license. You know, if you want to take a peep at that.
Anyways, man, this is a terrible ending, but let's fucking do it.
I'm getting hammered over here, dude. It's fucking hot down here.
Listen, it was fun to have you on the show in person.
Yeah, it was great to be here.
This is exciting.
I'm tapping again.
Yeah, just tap that table. It's all good.
And one last thing.
Hello, ready to laugh with Elmo?
Are you?
No, I'm not, Elmo. Shut up.
Yeah, I'm ready to laugh.
Go back to bed.
If anyone knows me, I'm ready to laugh.
Yes, I am ready to laugh with you, Andy.
So is it crazy if I'm laughing in person to actually see what my face looks like?
You haven't been laughing that much. I don't feel on today.
Oh, that's what I should.
No, I saw you laugh. It was
say
good.
Something funny.
I saw you laugh and you went back. It was good. You dipped your head. You dipped and whipped your head. It was good. I feel
that was a good one. I'm trying to think what was that about? I had a big laugh about something.
Who fucking knows? We're drinking Dos Equis over here. Spiked with vodka.
Anyways, man, it was fun having you on the show. This will be an interesting thing. People can watch and see. This is what it looks like. This is what a Beyond Synth would look like.
This is what you could look like on this show, boys and girls.
Yeah, you just got to be. You got to make some cool music, man, and then come on Beyond Synth.
Great. Come on.
I don't know if that was like a call to action.
Should I come on Beyond Synth?
Yes.
Is there a sign that I do this on, or
just a picture of me is fine. We call that a tribute.
Come on this picture.
Anyways, listen.
Anyways,
thanks for coming on the show and being here. This will be like the 4th time you've been on the show.
I'm happy to come for you anytime, Andy.
How are we spelling that?
There's no spelling involved. I don't spell on Saturdays.
You want to do a goodbye to the people?
I don't know why I just blanked there. Let me say thanks for listening out there in La La Land, and we'd love to have you back anytime. Thanks for listening, boys and girls. This is DROID Bishop and your Canadian buddy, Andy Last.
I feel like I almost don't even need to sign off now.
I did it for you. All right? I'd be tipping my cowboy hat to you right about now. Just say a little something to the folks, huh?
Thanks for being on the show, James.
Anytime, buddy.
And that was my conversation with DROID Bishop. I want to thank you guys for listening to the show, and tune in next time where my guest will be somebody. Actually, I've got a special one next week. It's someone who I haven't had on the show in like 3 years, and so we got to catch up because we haven't talked in a really long time, but I don't want to spoil who it is. But if I were giving out hints, I would say he's Italian. He married a girl who also makes synthwave music. He has a dog that is also a synthwave musician, and he likes a pizza pie. And if those hints don't give it away, fucking I was about to say screw you. That's the kind of kind host I am. Anyways, guys, have a lovely weekend, and I will talk to you next week on Beyond Synth.
Breaking all the rules with this podcast. I'm already fine. Music all night. Beyond Synth, Mach 5. Retro, on the metro. This is essential. We can't let you run